Guten Erev Pesach Raboisai. Lili Nishma Simmy Schaer. Welcome to all those who are live today. Erev Pesach. What we're trying to do is chaparain as many shiurim. Typically speaking, we only do one daf a day, not one and a half and not a half. One daf a day. But because of Erev Pesach, and because in America there's a 3-day yontif, it's one of the hardest times to keep up with the daf. And many people, we're talking about over 4,000 people, close to 5,000 people already, who have signed up for Masechtas Makkos. And they just started. And it's difficult to get into the groove, so therefore, we're pushing ourselves, everybody, the whole team, the editors, Mark Ashkenazi. Mark reminded me that last year, Erev Pesach, we finished the shir. It was literally right before Shkia in New York, and he shut this thing down. He has a picture even where his whole table set for the Seder. And one year, it was maybe 3 years ago, Erev Pesach, I gave 3 shiurim in Shkolim, and I was wiped. When I was done with the shir, I was in a hotel. The oil was already davening. I didn't have time to shower, shave, anything. Went into the Seder like a zombie. It was nervayim. This year, hopefully, I do have to give 3 shiurim. This is the first of 3. It is Erev Pesach, Erev Pesach. People are busy with the chavrisa, and I want to thank Mark for being on here for all 3 shiurim. Be'ezer Hashem, Yishukayach, Mark. We are going to skip emails. We're going to try to do a condensed version of a share as quick as possible. It is a longer kind of daf, but we're going to take out stories, jokes, that sort of thing. I want to show you real quickly. I received this in the mail today. This is the brand new MDY cookbook for Pesach that the women of MDY put together. And this was interesting. A woman did a lachluchas dish. Very cool. But it's done very, very professionally. So I guess you can order it on MDYDaf.com. Different, I don't know. It looks very, very geschmack. I didn't have a chance really to go through it, but the lachluchas actually caught my, and the cover is phenomenal. Okay. Raboisai, once again, it is times like today and Pesach where it's very, very difficult to do the daf. And I ask you and beg you, please don't let Yontif get in the way of the daf. Please don't fall off because of these difficult days. Let's go. The fact that there are 36 people right now on YouTube, 36 people on Erev Yontif, it shows the beauty of Daf Yomi, that even in the hardest times, Erev Pesach is the hardest of the hard. People are broiling the zroya and eggs and chavrisa and matzah and measuring and coming and doing the last minute this and burning the chametz and everything. To be able to sit down, ruy geheit, calmly, and learn, it's just the power of Daf Yomi, and it's unbelievable. Just for that, it's unbelievable. In all of my speeches, when I talk about Daf Yomi, I always talk about today. So we learned the daf Erev Pesach. We learned the daf on Motzi Yom Kippur. We learned the daf on Chalamayim. That is the power of Daf Yomi. Rabbi site we are holding, before we are holding, there's 35 on Zoom and 36 on YouTube. That's a total of 71. It's unbelievable. 71 people. It's unbelievable. Mom, it's a tremendous hakarsa type to everybody. Real quickly, Rabbi Mark Landsman, today is his 60th birthday. I wanted to give him a shout out. He's the principal of YCQ. We were there in his yeshiva in Queens. I think it was 2 years ago, where we kicked off Masechtas Gittin. So mazel tov to you, and mazel tov to your wife who cares about you. Rabbi Side, the Masechtas sponsor, anonymous, Hatzlacha bruchnius ubegashmias Yisroel Cherns, in honor of my chavrisa. I love it. My chavrisa, Shmueli Unger, the Szlafrok family, in memory of their uncle Simmy Schaer, Simcha Yisrael ben Naftali Tzvi A. If you're new to the shir, you know that the shir is so special in terms of the types of people. We have all types of people from all over Klal Yisrael, from top to bottom, right to left. every type of Yid is part of the shir. The Achdus is phenomenal. And we saw that yesterday when two Hasidim who drove in two separate cars from Williamsburg came straight to the shir, even though they were extremely tired. And at the same time, this Bacher, I would call him a modern Orthodox guy with a kippas ruga, who flew in from Baltimore. I think his name was Lowenstein. He also is just all the types of people. So here we have Yisroel Cherns, who says, in honor of my chavrisa, and he writes it Chavrisa, chavrisa, Shmueli Unger. And then you have the Szlafrok family, who was the YU family, one after another, in memory of their uncle, Simmy Schaer, Simcha Yisrael ben Naftali Tzvi A. Anonymous, may our learning bring us closer to one another and to Hashem. The monthly sponsors Hatzlacha B'Parnasa. Parnasa Birevach for Baruch Nissim ben Shoshana Leah, by Yoni Klestzick, Refuah Shleima, Yehudit Brayna Rivka. Interesting, yesterday I mentioned that it's the last day, basically, to sign up for the safari, that if somebody wants to come on the safari, everybody's invited, but it's basically a donor appreciation trip, so it's for people who donated $20,000 and up. They get to come on the safari. It's a private, intimate matzav for 4 days or so. And just after I said it, 2 people signed up. One guy sent in $36,000. It's huge. It's huge. So yishkoch to everybody that's participating. Yishkoch to Yossi Klein, who's organizing the trip as usual. Kyle sponsors the month. Thank you, Reb Eli's wife, and kids for the great sacrifices they make, allowing him to spread Torah to the masses. Rabbi Sai, here we go. We're holding Daf Amud Aleph by the Mishnah. Oh, MDY Kids. There's an empty page over there for some reason, Mark. MDY Kids monthly innovations. Chus for official Elchanan Akiva, Rivki and Mrs. Stefansky. Art of the month. Refuah Shleima. For Yonatan Eitan ben Besheva Bracha in honor of Yossi Klein and Mark Ashkenazi for all the work they do. And here you can see Mark at work. It's going to be over 3 hours of working behind the scenes on an Erev Pesach. It's incredible, and here's the question, Rabbi Sai. Question to think about. When are Edim Zaymimim, Edim who are testifying falsely, when do we not punish them? Even though they are liars, even though they're caught red-handed as lying, they testify about someone, and we find out that they're complete liars. When do we not punish them at all? That is the question. The answer that we'll see is in a situation where the person was chayiv anyways. Before they even testified, that person was chayiv. So now they testified that he's chayiv, but we found out that they were liars, they weren't even there, so then we don't do anything to them. So let's see the Mishnah. If 2-3 witnesses say that Reuven owes Shimon $1,000, and they're lying, they were caught lying, they were on a cruise ship with 2 other Eidim, the 2 Eidim come and testify that the original Eidim are liars, then each aid has to pay a third. If there's 3 Eidim, each aid would have to pay a third of the $1,000, $333. If it's 2 Eidim, then you divide the 1,000 by 2, it's 500. If it's 1,000 Eidim, each aid pays $1. That's when it comes to money. However, when these Eidim, and we'll see, Eidim, right? Eidim Zayim get Malkus, like we saw, that you don't divide the Malkus. So let's say there's 39 Eidim. It's not like each one gets 1 Zetz. Each one gets 39 Malkus. Ketad, what's the case? They testified that somebody owes 200 zuz, and we found out that they're Zaymimim Imanu Yisem. They were on a cruise, they were on the safari in the Serengeti. That's where we're going, the Serengeti. If they were found that they weren't even in that country, in that city, at that place, at that day, then the Zaymimim. Mishal Sheminayim, if they were lying about money, they have to pay between themselves, they have to come up with the entire amount. But if they testify that somebody's chayiv malkus arbaim 39, 40 minus 1, and we found out that they're liars. Each and every one will get the 40. I said over the Beis Halevi. Beis Halevi says that the first whip that you get hurts a lot, but the second one hurts even more than the first one because it's on top of the first one. So even if it's the same power, is that it hurts a little bit more. And the third hurts more than the second. So number 21 hurts more than 20. So if you give each one 20, then each one is not going to get what they wanted to give the other guy. They wanted to give the guy falsely 39, which each one hurts more than the next. So you have to give each one 39. Says the Gemara, how do you know that when it comes to Malchus, they get the full amount? Omar Rabbi Nema Rosha B'Chayovi Malchus Malkuyos V'Nema Rosha B'Chayovi Mrs. Bezdin. Here we have the psukim. The top pasuk is talking about Malchus. It says the word Rasha, Rishasai, and on the bottom is talking about Ritzech. It says Rasha. Whenever Rasha B'Chayovi Mrs. Bezdin Mala Alam and Amy Salamechza, just like you cannot kill a person halfway, you have to kill him completely. Afkani Malchus Lamechza, you cannot divide up the Malchus. And here we have the Beis Halevi. Rava says, when it comes to hitting somebody, you have to do kasher zamam. He wanted to cause his friend that amount to pay, so you need to give him the full amount. As the Gemara, he wanted to cause that guy $1,000 damage, so he should have to come out of pocket $1,000. Says the Gemara, Mamay mitzaref, Malchus loy mitzaref. When it comes to money, the two 500s combined to be 1,000. When it comes to Malchus, Reuven's 20 and Shimon's 20 Malchus don't combine together. And here's where you use the Beis Halevi, because it's a different type of Malchus when you go higher and higher. In fact, people could die from Malchus. You need a doctor, as we're going to see. Says the Mishnah, the concept of hazama is when two witnesses come and testify about the first witnesses, that the first witnesses were with us, we saw them in a different place. Not that the second pair of witnesses testify about the murderer or the one that was murdered. That's not hazama. It's not contradicting the testimony. It's contradicting where the Adam, the testifiers, were. That's what hazama is. It's about the Adam themselves, not what they're saying. The Gemara gives an example. If the first witnesses say that we saw Reuven killing Shimon, and then the second pair of Adam come, if they're testifying that it's impossible that you saw a murder, why? Because the guy that died was with us on that day, or the killer was with us on that day. It's impossible you're testifying, even though he's dead, let's say, but he was with us that day that you claim that he died. That's not considered zaymim. But if you say here, this is the classic, which we always use this picture. The two guys on the left say, how is it possible that you guys with the Hawaiian shirts witness a murder when you were with us on a cruise ship? So that's considered zaymim. Some want to say Szfara, that in this particular case, why are the guys in the white robes believed over the guys in the blue shirts? Because they're not contradicting what the guys in the blue shirts are saying. If it was the two guys in the blue shirts saying there was a murder, and the guys in the white shirts say there wasn't a murder, you don't kill anybody. That's 2 against 2. But over here, the guys in the white robes are saying that you guys in the blue shirts were on a cruise ship. The guys testifying that there was a murder are not arguing with the guys. They're not it happens to be that it's a contradiction, but they're not. That's not what they're fighting about. It's not 2 against 2 over here. It's 2 Aiden with the Strimals saying that the two guys without the Strimals were on a cruise ship, and that's why we believe them. Bo acher v'zimum, says the Mishnah. If the guys with the white robes They said that the guys in the blue shirts were on the cruise ship. Okay. Then show up another two guys, let's say with the red shirts, and the guy with the white robe say, you guys with the red shirts were on the cruise ship. Then another two guys with green shirts come along and say, we saw a murder, and the guys in the white robes say, no, you guys are liars, you were on the cruise ship. And that just keeps on going and going. The guys with the strimals, whoever shows up, the guys with the strimals, and knock them down and say, you were on the cruise ship. You were on the cruise ship. So we have a machlokes, could you believe them? Why? Because how's it everybody was on a cruise ship? Maybe you're being paid by the murderer to make everybody look silly that they're on a cruise ship and you're going to kill all these people for no reason. This happens over and over. Even there's 100. Everybody, all the colored shirt people have to die. They're all Adam Zayim. Rabbi says no. These are liars, these are plotters, these are people that are making stuff up. Tyson says it's a lotion of paint. They're just painting everybody in the wrong color. So says Rabbi Yehuda, we only kill the guys in the blue shirts, but everybody that comes after the guys in the blue shirts, we don't kill. And the Gemara is going to discuss why. The Gemara is actually going to say that it's not even the guys in the blue shirts that we don't kill, based on them, according to Rabbi Yehuda, because they are liars. Says the Gemara, how do you know that the hazama is only on the Edom themselves and not on what they're testifying? That the edus is on the eid sheker, on the body, on him, not about what he's saying. Until the lie is on the Edom themselves. The Bei Rabbi Shmuel Tana Lano is Basara. It says in Torah that you answer him to take away, sorry to take away, to remove the actual physical Edom from where they say they were. They say they were in Brooklyn and they witnessed a murder. No, you're in Hawaii, you weren't even there. But not that there wasn't a murderer, there is a murderer, the murderer was here or there. If two witnesses say we were in a giant castle and on the eastern side of the castle is a murder. No, it's not true. You were actually never in the eastern part of the castle, you were in the western part. We witnessed you there. So we have to take a look. If when you stand in the west, you could see the east. Okay, so it's not a contradiction. Then they're saying the same thing. Then it's not a problem. You can't kill these Edom based on that. But if when you stand in the west, you cannot see anything in the east, it's too far away. Then they're considered Edom Zayim. L'chari, they get killed at this point. Says Gemara Pshita. What's the difference if you say this? They were with us in Hawaii, or you say they were with us on the western part of the property? It's the same thing. Basically, you couldn't witness this murder. Says Gemara, no. There's such a thing called 2010. We know there's this great vision 2020. But what if somebody has a 2010 vision? He has better than usual. He could see from 10 feet away, something that's 20 feet away, as if it's 10 feet away. He's amazing in his vision. Maybe I have to be concerned. He's an Israeli Air Force pilot. He has great vision. Kamash Malon, we don't have to be worried about it. So there's actually a machlokes rishonim, but the guy claims that he does have good vision. And you say, well, we don't have to be concerned about, so you're going to kill him based on that? What if he has good vision? So according to some rishonim, you don't kill him. It's just not a good edus. The story happened in the city called Sura. When? B'tzafra, in the morning. On Sunday. Sunday morning in Sura, we saw Harag Ploni Es Hanefesh, we saw a murder. Wait a minute. You were with us at the restaurant on Sunday night in Narda. They're not saying where he was Sunday morning, they're just saying Sunday night you were in Narda. So now we have to see how long does it take to get from Surah to Narda. If it's possible to travel from Sur to Narda, so it's possible that they witnessed the murder and they just happened to be in the restaurant that night. So lo have a zayim. Vilav have a zayim. But if they can't, it's not possible to get from point A to point B, like they said, then they are zayim. As the Gemara Pshita, what's the chiddush? If they can't get there, it's impossible to get there. So it's obvious that this zayim. Says the Gemara about this heimelechus the gamlo parcha. Today we call it a plane, a helicopter, or better yet, a drone. I'm pretty sure that in 5 years from now, people are going to be flying around in drones, landing on the roof. You know, that's the future, right? Everything about the wars today is all about drones, and they already have drones that carry tremendous amount of weight. You have a flying camel. A few years ago, not too, maybe a year and a half ago, 2 years, I brought this picture to when I did a faher for the Shasi. And these are guys that know Shas called. So this is one of the pictures that I brought. There's a picture that Yoshi drew by hand. Back in the day, before the whole AI thing, he used to draw by hand. So I inserted it into today's sugya because it's Gamla Parcha. I asked the guys, I said, what is this? And they all scream out, this is Gamla Parcha. And you know, they'll scream out, Makkos Daf Hey, or wherever else is brought in Shas Gamla Parcha. Where else is it? Yivamis. Okay, Yivamis. So I told Yoshi, put this in AI, see what AI could do with it. Incredible. AI takes your picture, enhances it, more vibrant coloring, and puts the movement on it. And he, Rabbi said, take a look. This is unbelievable. Oh, I didn't show it. So this is the Gamla Parcha that Yoshi did in Yivamis, I guess, or something like that. And this is the new and enhanced Gamla Parcha. Look at the coloring, first of all. And then it also moves. Unbelievable. So basically, there's something called the Gamla Parcha, whatever that means. You have transportation that brings you from point A to point B a lot quicker than everybody else. So perhaps when you said that you were in Surah, you were right. You were able to take a plane, hop on a plane, and get there. There's a discussion in the Rishonim, actually in the Achronim, I think it is, I saw it, where do we say that today's day and age, you get in a car, or they call it the Mesilas HaBarzel, they go on the train tracks, the trains, you get from point A to point B a lot quicker. Or on a plane, forget about it. You go from Israel to the United States in 10 hours. So is that considered, do we have to be concerned for a Gamla Parcha? Because in our generation, that's how it is. So believe it or not, some are saying that we can't change things from generation to generation. There's a basic way, a basic time that it takes to get from Sur to Nardan. Just because you have new technology doesn't mean you have to change it. Some say it like that. Okay. Vamarava. When it comes to Negela Maisa, Ayin Sham. Vamarava, and Rav said, Bo Shnayim Vamar B'Chab Shabbos Zaharak Ploni Sanefesh. So now I have a series of, they're very, very similar cases. They're almost identical. So we have to get used to it. It's like 4 cases, but they're almost the same. The case is as follows. 2 people come and say, on Sunday, Harag Ploni Sanefesh. We witnessed a murder. When did they come? They didn't come on Sunday because it happened on Sunday. So let's say they came on Tuesday. They come to Bezin on Tuesday. They say, we want to testify that 2 days ago on Sunday we saw a murder. And then 2 other witnesses come along and say, you're liars. How could you say that you witnessed a murder when you were with us? You're in a hotel with us on Shabbat, on Sunday. But we agree to you that Reuven killed Shimon. That is true, he's a murderer. But it didn't happen on Sunday, it happened on Monday. You're not going to believe what the halacha is. Even though they admit that there's a murder, but you, original Adam, are liars. You didn't testify, you didn't see that, you didn't witness the murder. So since you didn't witness the murder and you lied, off with your head, we have to kill you. You're Adam Zayimim. So now let's see how it looks. Here's a timeline. On top you see there's a Friday, Sunday, Monday and Tuesday. Why? Because the Gemara is going to talk about Friday in a minute. The first witnesses say, they come and they testify on Tuesday. See, that's why he points to Tuesday. And they say, we saw a murder. Reuven killed somebody. The guy with the black and white shirt, he killed somebody on Sunday. Step two is that the Idi Hazama, with the binoculars, they witnessed. They saw that you, Adam, in step one, are liars. Imanu hayisem. You were with us on the cruise on Sunday. How's it possible? Now, but it's true, Reuven did kill somebody. When? On Monday. So the Gemara says, Ella b'Erev Shabbos harik leinis hanefesh le'yoid Ella afilu amru Erev Shabbos harik leinis hanefesh. Now this is a big chiddush. What if in step two they didn't say that Reuven killed on Monday, but rather he killed on Friday? In other words, by the time that you're testifying that there was a murder, in fact there was a murder. You're not lying. You're lying about the day, but not about what happened. If they're saying that it happened on Sunday, and the other Adam said it happened on Monday, so at the time that they're testifying, about the time they're testifying, the murder never happened. But the Gemara says, no, I don't have to come on to that. Even if, here, look at this arrow. No. The Ritzicha, the murder happened on a Friday, and you came and you said that it happened on a Sunday, we're still going to kill you because you're lying. You didn't witness it. If had you witnessed it, you would have said it happened on a Friday, and you said it happened on a Sunday. You liar, off with your head. We got to kill him. Because when they're testifying, when step one, when the people on top of number one are testifying there was a murder, the guy wasn't chayiv misa. Says Rashi, a very interesting lashon. Taisus doesn't understand what Rashi say. Rashi says because if Reuven, the Reitzeach, the guy with the sword, comes and admits to it, we wouldn't kill him. Says Taisus, there's no such thing when it comes to murder that you could admit to murder and not get killed. Rather, says Taisus, and maybe I'm thinking that this is what Rashi really means. Although Taisus doesn't say it straight out, but that's how I understood when I just read the words. That at this point, Bezdin didn't say it's chayiv misa. So they're coming to be mechayiv somebody misa. Says the Gemara, wow, there's already 47 on YouTube. I don't know how many people are on Zoom. Maybe people went from Zoom to YouTube. Okay, he's a person, they want to be mechayiv misa. 33 on Zoom. So it's a total of 80. Givaldi. Michael Mashalom. What's the chiddush over here? Tanina, we already learned this. Lefichach nimsis achas mehem zimemes. Hu v'hein neherogim v'ashniya p'tura. Let me just show you the case. Here. If I could get on it. You see, there's two witnesses, two sets of witnesses. The witnesses, one is on the right, one is on the left, and they don't see each other. Tomorrow's Daf, actually, I'm going to give it today, Be'ezer Hashem, Daf Vav, talks a lot about this case and different variations of this case. There's two sets, one on the right, one on the left, one with the blue laser beams and one with the pink laser beams. They're both witnessing something that happened on the ship that's in the front. Let's say the guy is a killer, I don't know what. So over here we say that if, let's say, the guys with the pink laser beams, they were found to be Eidim Zoymimim, since it's not the same Eidos, they're witnessing it from two different directions, they don't see each other. If they don't see each other, they're considered two different witnesses. So the guys on the left with the pink laser beams, we kill them because they're Eidim Zoymimim. The guys on the right are testifying that the guy with the shtreimel is chayiv misa. So we kill the guy with the shtreimel, and we also kill the two Eidim. But the two Eidim are saying the truth. They're saying that the guy's a killer. But they're not saying the truth. They lied. They never witnessed it. They're Eidim Zayvim. You were in a different country at all. But we're saying the truth. We know, we saw on the news that the guy is a killer. Yeah, you saw in the news, but you didn't witness it with your own eyes. So we have to kill you. As the Gemara, so we already see this case that sometimes Edom Zoim die, even though it's not going to make a difference what they're saying, because the guy is a killer, and in fact he does die because the guys with the blue laser beams, they're going to kill him. They're going to cause him to die. No, so we see this chiddush. The Edom Zoim, when they lie, they die. Says, oh, I need it for another reason. Use this. This is the case, Rabbi said. It's the same case, basically. Nothing changes, just a couple of words. The first, Adam saying, Nigmar din. Not that we saw a murder, but we witnessed that the Bezdin said that he's chayiv misa. That's the whole difference. Sefer Masha'en came b'gmar din is tzrichle. That what? Bo shnai v'omer b'cham shabbos nigmar din shel ploni. On Sunday, we witnessed that Bezdin said that this guy, the Ritzeach, has to die. And now, in step 2, 2 witnesses come along and say, you liars, you're Zomimim, you're liars, you were with us on Sunday. In fact, it happened on Friday. On Friday is when it happened. Oh, so in this case, we don't kill the Edom Zomimim. Why? What if they're saying it happened after? Here, on Monday is when the Gemara Din was. A day after you claim it happened. Remember, the first thing I asked in the beginning of this year, how's it possible that Edom Zomimim testify about something and we find out that they were liars, the complete liars? We don't punish them. Here's the answer. When there was a physical Gemar Din, when Bezdin said that this guy must die, he's a killer, so then come to Edom and lie about when that Gemar Din was, it doesn't matter. Why? Because they're trying to kill someone that's already a dead man walking. Bezdin already decided that he's going to die. The Be'edin, the Kamastas, the Gavro, when they come and testify, Bark Talo, he's a dead man. V'chein le'inyan tashlumi knas. And now, the same exact story that we just said, but instead of talking about somebody that killed somebody, we're talking about somebody who has to pay a penalty. When do you pay a penalty? For instance, when you steal, you have to pay double back. Or when you steal a cow or a sheep, and then you shecht it and you sell it, then so you have to pay 4 or 5 times that. That's a penalty. So let's see the penalty phase here. So on Sunday they come and they say that on Sunday he made meat out of it, he chopped it up, he did Benny Rodnik on it. I'm saying Benny Rodnik that I made a major mistake. Benny, who's a very, very dear friend of mine, he's the main guy in the Hebrew share. I asked him to help me out with the Hebrew share, and he did. And he wrote me a very, very emotional letter, and I don't know what got over me. I was like too curious to see what it says. So I read the whole thing, and I broke down crying. And I told Mark, hey, I can't give shir now. My eyes are red and everything. So by the time we set everything up, hopefully they're not red at all. Okay, Givaldi. So, yeah, you just tell me how the shir, he said I can't repeat the letter, so I'm not going to repeat it. But basically, the shir changed his life, etc., etc. So, says the Gemara, Bo shnayim v'amru b'chab shavso gonav v'tovach u'mochar. Here, so let's go back to this chart over here. The first Edom say that on Sunday is when he stole and he shechted it, he sold it. Ubo shnayim v'amru b'chab shavso imonu yisem, you're liars, it's not true, you were with us, you were on the cruise that day. Ella, you're right that he stole and he shechted, but that happened on Monday. You see, it happened on a different day. Literally, what we said before, just we're talking about stealing instead of killing. Mishalmim, then they have to pay Even if they said it happened before on Friday, because when they said it, the guy wasn't liable to pay. Oh, so now we're going to the other thing. It's literally what we said before. Nothing's changing, Rabbi said, but why not? We have the visual. Let's just see it. What they're saying now is not that he stole, but that the Bezdin paskin that he has to pay for stealing. How much does he have to pay? The whole knas, the 4 or 5. And 2 witnesses come and say, no, what you're saying is wrong. You were with us on Sunday. It's impossible. You saw this. No, it was happening on Friday. Let me see. Oh, here. Friday. And that's when the on Friday Bezin passing that he's chayiv. It doesn't matter even if they said it was afterwards. Let's go back over here. And the Gemara didn't was on a Monday. Hey, Mishalom. They don't pay in this case. Why? With this, we finished the sugya. They don't have to pay. Why? Because the guy had to pay anyways. There's a sack from the bezin he has to pay. Come to aid him and lie when it happened exactly. That doesn't bother us. Rabbi Yehuda Omer Istatis Sizu comes review the Daf Hey Amud Beis. These, when you have, so let's go back to remind the Olam. It's not, we don't have a real visual, but why not to help us out here. The guys in the white robes are accusing the guys in the blue shirts that they were on a cruise ship when the guys in the blue shirts testified that they saw a murder. How could you see the murder? You are on a cruise ship. Okay, so we get rid of the guys in the blue shirts, we kill them. Come 2 guys in red shirts, and they say the same thing. Say the guy in the white robes, you were with us on a cruise. So we kill the guys in the red shirts. And this keeps on going, and every time 2 of them show up, they keep on killing them. They keep on, or at least accusing them. So Rabbi says it's impossible. You can't trust the guys in the white robes. They're a bunch of liars. They're biased. Can't trust them. As the Gemara, so how come we kill the guys in the blue shirts? You're right, we don't. But what happened was, by mistake, we killed them. Says Gemara, but that's not a halacha. You're telling me, by mistake, we killed them. But how's that important to us? We want to know the halacha. Did you kill the guys with the blue shirts or not? Let's go back to here. I'm going to get there in a second. You're right. If there's only one pair of Adam, the guys with the blue shirts, then we kill them. You get fei ein neragim, but if there's more, we don't kill them. As the Gemara, that doesn't fit into the lashon. Habilvat kamar. It says that you only kill one of the many Adam. You're telling me no, you only kill them when there's only 2 Adam, not if there's 100. From the Mishnah's mashma, there's 100, but you only kill 2. Kasha, you're right. It's a good question. For the Kasha start minute, we never die from a question. It's not a tiyufta. If the Gemara would have said tiyufta, it would have been all over, checkmate. It's a good, okay, I don't know how to fit it into the lashon so much. The bottom line is that's the halacha. According to Rabbi Yehuda, that if we suspect somebody for the 2 of them lying, because they keep on telling people, no, you're on the cruise ship, something's wrong, something smells fishy over here, we don't trust them for anybody. If there's one pair that they're trying to kill, then we trust them for that. The turning of the daf for Nissim is by Adar Global, one-stop shop for all your financial needs. Innovations LLC in honor of our sons Kalmo 12 and Yisroel who's 9 for learning Sanhedrin. Unbelievable, 9-year-old finished an entire Masech the Sanhedrin with rebellion. In honor of Adar Global Innovations, now somebody is doing shtick and he's giving money in honor of Adar Global, who does the one-stop shop for all your financial needs and innovations. Both of them true role models of how to support the daf and learning. I'm not exactly sure who this person is, but he's a great guy because he's trying to encourage people to donate to Torah. Says the Halei Gemara, we have 50 people now, 55 people on Zoom, wow, on YouTube. Says the Gemara like this, story time. A woman, let's say she claims somebody owes her $1,000, $1 million. She brings 2 Eidim that say that somebody owes her $1 million. Vishtakur. This is a game that you could play with your family, and you try to find out if they're lying.
You take two kids and you say, okay, come up with a story, and you have to figure out if they're lying. And you ask, okay, they come in, they say, what happened? The two kids say, oh, so-and-so owes $1 million. So you take each one individually, you say, okay, you played the Bezdin game. What color clothing was the guy wearing? What color did he have glasses? Not. By the time you're done, within a few minutes, you figure out that there's a big lie going on over here. You take these two Eidim, and you do drishas v'chakiras. You ask them all sorts of questions. What time of the day? What was he wearing? How did it happen? Da, 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 da. And by the time, and like we once had a story, I think it was with the Vilna Gaon, they were perfect. You couldn't find us. So the Vilna Gaon said they're lying. You know why? Because they're so perfect that they're lying. They sat and they created a story. They fabricated a story. Okay, so if he asked me what color clothing, it was blue with a white line here, and then each shade says blue with a white line. The way they answered the questions, you could see that they're liars. But in this case, Bishtakar, we found out that the Edom were lying. Well, this woman has an agenda. She needs her $1 million. I see Sahad Bishtakar, so she brings two more Edom, total of 4 so far. Bishtakar, and Bezdin was able to find holes in their testimony and their liar. Aslo, I see Sahad Achrina. For a third time, she goes ahead. Now we figure that she's probably hiring Edom, right? All of a sudden, she pulls out another 2 Edom. And this time, the Lo Yishtaker, she already figured out all the questions that Bezdin asks, and they couldn't find the hole in the testimony. So we have a machlokes what to do over here. This woman has a chazaka, she constantly goes and brings false Edom. You can't trust the third. You're right, we couldn't find any holes in the testimony, but obviously something's up with this woman. It smells fishy. That sounds very similar to our Mishnah, where Rebuta says it smells fishy, that every single time Edom show up and the guys with the white robe said, no, you were on the cruise ship, you were on a cruise ship, you're on a cruise ship. Doesn't smell good. L'chayra, Rish Lakish is saying like our Mishnah. Like Rebuta in our Mishnah. Omer le Rebbe Lazar says the Lashon here, pay attention to this Lashon, because Rebbe Lazar is going to get caught. He plagiarized the Lashon. Im hi huchzaka, kol Yisrael mi huchzaku. If, let's say, you suspect this woman for hiring Edom, but you can't say that every person in Klal Yisrael is a hired aid, maybe she has a chazakah, she's a bad person. But how can you say that and apply that to all Jews? Here come 2 Jews and say, hey, we witnessed it. How can you say that they're liars? Says the Gemara, everybody forgot about the story. Later on in time, Rabbi Yochanan was sitting next to Rish Lakish and Rabbi Lazar. There's a very similar story that came in front of them. Says Rish Lakish to Szfara, that what? That there's a chazaka that this woman or this man, whoever the news story was about, brings a bunch of false witnesses. Omar le Rabbi Yochanan, he says the same exact wording as Rabbi Lazar. Im huchzakazu, yeah, if this woman is a bad woman, Klal Yisrael mi huchzaku. Can we say that everybody in Klal Yisrael is bad? Rabbi Lazar was extremely mad at Rabbi Shlokish was extremely mad at Rabbi Lazar. He gave him the sour face, a face of being upset. Why? He caught on. He realized that Rabbi Lazar was actually repeating over from the Rebbe, Rabbi Yochanan. You heard words from Rabbi Yochanan. Bar Nafcha's father was a blacksmith. Why didn't you tell me? You pretended that you come up with your own logic. Oh, if she's possible, make it that all of Klal Yisrael is possible. Those are the words of the Rebbe, Rabbi Yochanan. In fact, we learned once in Yavamis that Rabbi Lazar was the big Talmud of Rabbi Yochanan, and everybody knew that if something came out of Rabbi Lazar's mouth, it was actually Rabbi Yochanan. He never said his own thing. He always said over from his Rebbe, Rabbi Yochanan. Rish Lakish was still upset. Why didn't you say it in his name? Says the Gemara, Lema. Let me just put this on before I show it to you. Okay, now I can show it to you. Since I did this one, so it doesn't come in nicely. So like I pointed out, perhaps Rish Lakish lines up perfectly with Rabbi Yehuda in our Mishnah. Rish Lakish says that if a woman brings 3 pairs of Edom, the first 2 are found to be liars,
So the third one is also liars. Why something smells fishy? Rabbi Yehuda in our Mishnah says that if the guy, the two Hasidim on the cruise ship, they say on every pair of Eidim Zayimim, on every pair that comes in, oh no, Imanu Yisim, you're on the cruise ship, yeah. So again, it smells bad. We can't trust them for anything. So L'chayr, Rish Lakish, and the Mishnah line up, and Rabbi Yochanan who says no, just because she brought two pairs of Eidim that were found to be false, the third one could be good. MMA that might line up with our Mishnah, the Tanakh in our Mishnah, that it's possible that these guys on the cruise ship with the white robes, they saw all these people and they were all with them on a cruise ship. It's possible. Maybe everybody lines up nicely. So the Gemara, no, we're not forced, and this is a typical Gemara, that we're not forced to say to the line up. Here, you see, that's when I do things, it comes out silly, like this, but it's okay. Perhaps Rish Lakish, even, it doesn't have to be that red lines up with red, it could be Rish Lakish in red lines up with the green on the bottom. That what? I could hold like the Mishnah that the guys on the cruise ship, they might have seen all these people. It's not a problem. They saw 100 people on a cruise ship. What's their agenda? They don't have agenda. They have nothing forcing them to lie. But over here you have a woman who wants to make $1 million, so she has an agenda, so we can't trust her. Rabbi Yochanan says, and Rabbi Yochanan says, here, I can line up. It doesn't have to be that green lines up with green. It could be green also lines up with red. That what? I can look at is it possible what every single witness in the world that shows up, they were all on a cruise ship? It's not that the murder happened on a cruise ship. The murder happened in Manhattan. Just every pair of witnesses that ever show up, the guys in the white robes say, "Oh, you were on a cruise ship." How's that possible? That doesn't make sense. It's possible that the first four Aiden that showed up, they didn't see they were liars, but the third Aiden, they are good witnesses. Maybe that makes more sense. Brand new sugya, brand new mishnah, brand new masechta. Even if you just started today, you could start from here. That's a halach that we mentioned, and here it is. That you only kill a zayim when there's a gemar din, when everything is finished. Bezdin paskin that it's over. So it's a very short window. Before the verdict, you don't become a zayim. After the verdict is done, in other words, you kill the person, there's no zayim. So it's between the verdict and before you take it out and go ahead and kill the person or make him pay. The tzdukim are people who don't believe in the Torah Shabbat Peh. There's a lot of people who don't even know this. When I ask Bachar, do you know that this Gemara that we learn, was given to Moshe Rabbeinu at Har Sinai? It's not something that came along later. It's machlokes what Moshe Rabbeinu heard, and that's the machlokes. But the idea, the concepts of Torah Shabbat Peh that we learn certain things from Psukim and Gzir Shabbos and all that, it's all given from a Kishbok to Moshe Rabbeinu. Stukim disagree. They say, we don't like your learning, we don't like the way you learn. Russia, like we just said before, different word. No, we don't go like that. No, if the Edom Zayim cause somebody to die, then we kill him. They're using logic. Okay, logic sounds good, but we don't go by logic. We go with what it says in the Torah. They prove it. Shenemar nefesh b'nefesh. The guy is Gairis here nefesh b'nefesh because that's the pasuk. So they said, no, what nefesh b'nefesh? Not you don't get instead if somebody dies. It's you wanted to do to your brother lachiv. You only have a brother when the brother's alive. When he's dead, he's not your brother. Right? Okay, why does it say nefesh b'nefesh? Maybe they should be chayav immediately when they come to Bezdin and testify. So that's why I need nefesh b'nefesh to say that you need the verdict. Tana Beribi Omer. So a lot of times in Shas, Rashi says Beribi is a great person. Over here he says it's the name of a person. I didn't even look at the tzaddik here. Oh, I'm pretty Rashi b'chulin. Okay, they'll probably say that Beribi means a great person, etc. Loy hargu neheragim, hargu ein neheragim. So Beribi says the mamish like we said. The only time you could kill I hear like a, it's coming back through the speakers. It just could be a physical thing here in this room. Okay, that's better. I think 59 people now on YouTube, unbelievable. Erev Yontiv with the chavrisa. We once got a picture. I think it was Shmueli Unger or something doing chavrisa or something with Erev Yontiv. If we already killed the victim, then we don't kill the Edom Zayimim. Some people want to tie that the reason why we don't kill the Edom Zayimim, logically, is because the Aver is so great. They cause somebody to die that your misa is not enough. Hashem has to deal with you. Omar Oviv. So Beribi's father says, Bini lav kavachoimeru. I don't understand. A simple kavachoimer. If you didn't cause somebody to die, he didn't die yet, you die because you just wanted him to die. Just for wanting to die, you get killed. So if you kill somebody, certainly you should die. It's a simple kavachomer. That's what the Zukim were saying. It's even more than the Zukim. If Chachamim kill Edom Zoymimim who only wanted to kill somebody, but they weren't successful, they died just for wanting. So if they were successful and they killed somebody for no reason, certainly they should die. So he says, it's not true. You taught me, Rebbe, Daddy, Tati, Rebbe, Rabbeinu. Your Kavachomer is amazing, but you cannot kill somebody on logic. So let me just tell you this. It's about 10 lines of easy shmizi. And we have to fly through it because it's Erev Yontif. I'll tell it to you about Peh, and you'll see how easy it is. The Torah says that if a person has relations with his half-sister, he's chayev. In other words, if he shares the same father, but not the same mother, she's considered a sister. And if they share the same mother and not the same father, she's considered a sister. A half-sister is a sister. So let me ask you something. What if you share with your sister a father and a mother? So certainly she should be your sister. No. We don't use logic. But what about just a warning in the Torah? Because before we kill somebody, before we do anything, you have to warn them. So perhaps if the Torah warns on a half sister, so certainly on a full sister. No, even the Hazari not. So let's see 10 lines now. He's only a half sister through a father, or a sister, a half sister through the mother. I only see in the Torah these two. What if we share? They share of the same father and mother. How do you know? You cannot learn it from logic in a kavachomer. I need another pasuk to teach me this. Actually, but without this pasuk, I could have a kavachomer. If the Torah punishes you for a half a sister, certainly if she's a full sister, she's your sister. From here, I see the idea. You cannot kill somebody based on logic. How do you see the same idea when it comes to warning? Same words or voices were going to fly. I only see the warning when it's a half sister. But what if the sister is both on both? The warning is, I'm sorry. What if this sister is a sister from a father and a mother? So isn't that good enough warning? We have another pasuk for the warning. Actually, but if without this, well, Kitzer, 100 people between YouTube and Zoom on an Erev Pesach, incredible. Keep it up, Rabbi Zay. And please don't fall. Please, I'm telling you, this is the hardest time of the year. If you can make it through Pesach, then you can do the entire year easy. On a 3-day yontif, it's very, very difficult. And I'm davening for you. You should be matzliach. Says the Gemara, if there's a warning in the Torah on a half sister, and a full sister, certainly that should be a warning. And the sugya. Okay, so you see from here that you cannot punish somebody based on logic. How do you know that if I and my friend witness, we testify that you are Chayav Malkus? How do you know that it has to be that I get the Malkus only after there was a verdict, the Gemara din? Tamaloimar, Russia, that we saw before, this pasuk. Hold on a second. Oh, okay, I need to show you this video, give Shmaki video. Rabbi, give me a little audio, please.
We saw Reuven being Mechalel Shabbos on MDY Shabbaton.
You were with us at the Shabbaton of Kesher Nafshi.
We rule that the convict is Chayav Skila.
You were with us at the Shabbaton of Kesher Nafshi.
No!
You were with us at the Shabbaton of Kesher Nafshi.
Couldn't you guys have come a minute earlier?
Okay, so now says the Gemara like this: we have to hurry. Wow, we're closing in an hour already. That's not good. How did I do it so fast in Hebrew? I don't know. Oh, because I didn't have all the sponsors in the cookbook. Golos. How do we know that in order to be mechayiv somebody Golos, it has to be after the Gemara din Asir Ritzeach Ritzeach? We have Gzeir Shav Ritzeach Ritzeach from Golos and from a real Ritzeach. Tanya Omer Yehuda ben Tavoy. So Yehuda ben Tavoy lived in the time of Yanai HaMelech. He was from in the time of the Chashmonaim. Yanai actually killed all the Chachamim, and he left two people. Well, two people survived. One of them was Rabbi Yehuda ben Tavoy, and the one was his brother-in-law Shimon ben Shedach. You know, Yanai's wife was his sister, and she saved him. So Yehuda ben Tavoy, Erev ben Chamayim lo yarakti et zoymim. I will see in a Chama if I didn't kill one Eid Zoymim. He went ahead and he killed one of the two. Why? To take out of the hearts of the Tzedukis. Because they say in our Mishnah that you only kill Eid Zoymim if the person actually ends up dying after you take him out to kill. And I wanted to show, no, you kill him even if he just wanted to. So his counterpart, Shimon says, what do you do? You kill the innocent man. Why? Because the only time you can kill a Zayim is if you kill both of them. You cannot kill one out of the two. So he accepted upon himself that he'll never pass again unless Shimon Shedach is there. And he went every single time to the caver and he would cry, I'm sorry for killing you for no reason. And there's a voice that was heard, and everybody thought that it's the voice of the dead. Omar, no, you hear me crying. And I'll prove it to you. Because tomorrow, after Yehuda ben Tavoy dies, you'll continue hearing the voice of the dead. You won't hear the voice of the dead. So you'll know that I'm the one crying, not the dead guy. Maybe because that's it. He's done being upset at him. Maybe he took care of business in Shemayim. He calmed him down, and they made up in Shemayim, and that's why he stopped. But it's not a raya that he's the one that made the voice and not the dead person. Rabbi Sai, have a wonderful day, a good yontif. Thank you for being here live. Thank you for watching this shir not live. Good yontif.